All right, welcome to the first Grand Prix episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast. I'm so excited to talk about this and also so scared to talk about this. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie.
How are
It's
you
been a
feeling?
weekend. I'm feeling a little frazzled. I feel like my hair is sticking out in every direction and my nerves are a little frayed. But yeah, it's been a weekend.
Besides the nerves being a little frayed, I'm sure you're talking about ice dance.
Yeah, it
Um, I gotta say, the competition itself
was great.
was really good.
Mhm.
This is perhaps one of the best Grand Prix overall, all four disciplines Grand Prix that I've seen in a very long time. And
Mhm.
maybe it's recency bias, and I'm like, oh, this is so great. And then last year I said the same thing about
Mhm.
something else. I don't know, but it felt different. It really felt like an Olympic season.
I mean, I would agree with you in three disciplines. I feel like the men's
Yeah,
event
yeah.
was a little wild here. I mean, this was like the menning of the menning again. I mean, this is a lot. There was one steadfast and in his own bubble, Ilya, and then everyone else was just like
I
throw it
got
all at the wall and see what sticks.
I gotta say, the Manning was actually less than I thought it was going to be.
I don't. Some of these numbers are crazy
I
on
know.
this final result. I feel like you should come up with a way to quantify the differences in placements and calculate the degree of menning that occurred at a particular event.
I like this degree of Manning
Yeah.
calculation. We should do that. I should definitely do that. Get some formulas in there
Mhm.
and work my Excel magic.
Mhm.
Um, all right, before we start with this, and we're not going to start with ice dance because I feel like if we start with ice
Oh my
dance, we're going to
God.
talk about this for like 5 hours.
Let's start with
Um,
women.
let's start with women. Okay, this is the Rocker Skating Podcast. If you're just joining us, sponsored by John Wilson Blades, and we're talking about the first Grand Prix of the season, Grand Prix de France in Angers, and it was really fun in a lot of ways. And we're
Mhm.
going to maybe talk about the most fun one, which was the
Mhm.
women's event,
Mhm.
because I mean, top four.
Yeah.
This was world championship,
Mhm.
caliber skating from the top four and really the top five. Lorene
Mhm.
Shield in fifth place skated two clean skates
Yeah.
and had the biggest score of her career at home. It was so good to see. But like, let's just talk about the fact that Kaori Sakamoto skated one of the best free skates of her life, and she got
Yeah.
beaten. She
Yeah.
got beaten by Ami Nakai.
A ray of sunshine named Ami Nakai.
My goodness. I don't think anybody was predicting this at all. And
You know what? That's not true.
no, who
If
was?
you listen to our friends on the run through, Ashley Wagner, this was like her first call of this event. She's like, Ami Nakai is going to win.
My
Um,
God.
Based on her watching her free skate, I think at Nepola. Yeah.
Ashley Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I predicted Ashley to win the silver medal at 2016 Worlds. I'm just going to
Yeah.
say that. Um, okay, Ami Nakai. It started with that short program that was so brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Her
triple axel she did there was the best thing I have ever seen her do.
her first step ever taken on Grand Prix ice was the best triple axel she's ever done. It was
It's
gorgeous.
crazy. It was gorgeous. It was, like we've been talking about how Amber Glenn has had these effortless
Mm-hmm.
triple axels, and it's like Amber's triple axel has become sort of one of the women's history best ones, and
Mm-hmm.
now Ami has one that rivals it, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Like
Mm-hmm.
that jump was
Mm-hmm.
just so good. And the thing was, I didn't expect it, mostly
Yeah.
because all season long she
Yeah.
hasn't been rotating it,
Yeah.
right? She's
I
been
think it was
trying.
Lombardia where we saw her. She was wiping out on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I just did not expect her to go out there and
Mm-hmm.
do it. We expected her to go out and skate most of that program,
Mm-hmm.
those programs clean because we've seen it before, and those
Mm-hmm.
other jumps are really easy for her. But I gotta say that I do remember the last few seasons. I was like, that triple axel technique that she had in the juniors,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think was sustainable. I
Mhm.
thought it was very whipped. I thought it was
Mhm.
very like there was just a lot of uh effort that went into
Mhm.
it in the juniors when she was in juniors.
Mhm.
And this season she's come out with it's still a similar jump,
Mhm.
but it is a very different like it's like she built a lot more power in her
Mhm.
takeoff foot, and it just doesn't feel like she's muscling it around as much,
Mhm.
especially in this competition. So
Mhm.
my goodness, I mean, she took a 2 point lead over Kaori going into the free, and then won it by just over 2 points,
Mhm.
2.67 or so, and
Mhm.
Kaori basically lost it on the two spins at the
Yeah.
end.
Spin levels.
Yeah. So, I think for the Kaorists out there, not all is lost.
Mhm.
That was not her best program. She did skate really well.
Yeah, great. The power she had in the second half was just really inspiring and exciting, and you really felt her building with the music.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it felt almost
I love
Olympic.
both of those programs for her.
Yeah. I wanted
Such
to
Olympic
mention
programs.
about Ami. I forgot to mention that she trains with Rio Nakata. They one of their coaches they share, and another nice triple axel. So they're working on
Yeah.
them together at
Yeah.
home.
Let's do some side by side triple axles.
Mhm.
So, I think this all of a sudden just vaults Aminakai into
Mhm.
the conversation like she never has been
Mhm.
before. And like really not just and I'm probably getting my ahead of myself here, not just for Japanese nationals and for an Olympic spot, but like she skates like this at an Olympics or a world championship, she's on the podium.
Mhm. Maybe at the top.
It may be at the top. I mean, like
Mhm.
she's done programs with two triple axels before, right? Like if she can get this triple axel back consistent,
Mhm.
oh my God. Like
Yeah.
the possibilities, and she's a first year senior who skates like like a seasoned senior
Yeah.
skater.
The composure, it's like it's amazing. And I think when we talked about Lombardi, I said I didn't like her free skate. I felt like it was a little too saccharine for me. But I really felt in the way she performed it here and just went through each, piece of the music, I warmed to it. I think
Yeah.
her performance was so engaging. And that's incredible for a first year senior.
I mean, we haven't seen this kind of debut in quite a
Mm-hmm.
while. I feel like um I don't know, in the Medvedeva,
Mm-hmm.
Radionova, Zagitova days, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the junior comes up and like
Yeah.
wins her first one. Like we haven't really seen that in a
Mm-hmm.
while, and like this one especially, it just
Mm-hmm.
it felt so senior. Like
Mm-hmm.
she felt like she belonged,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing to see. Now, question is, can she sustain it?
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how it goes. But I mean, she puts herself in very, very high contention for the Grand Prix final.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the Grand Prix final. Like that is like half of the ticket to the Olympics if she
Yeah.
makes it to the Grand Prix final. So
Yeah.
it's that this was big, 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 big for her. Kaori, just love that she is already locking in
Yeah.
and
That was so
skating
good.
well. She was having, I don't know if you noticed, she looked like she was having trouble with her gloves in both programs.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back
Like
and watch.
after the short program, she
Mm-hmm.
kept like pulling her glove back up her forearm
Mm,
I think it was a little bit uncomfortable or
mm,
something, like it bothered her.
mm.
And then I saw the same thing with the free skate one too. But two new costumes.
Yeah. We may see her without the gloves at the next competition.
I know,
TBD.
maybe. I feel like she's had gloves on for a while.
Uh,
Um, and then Japanese sweep, Rion Sumiyoshi. We knew she was going to skate well,
yeah.
given how she's been skating all season. Um,
Best quad
she
so far this year. She
best
stood up
quad
on it.
this
It was
year so
only called
far.
under. No
Yep,
downgrade.
yep, yep.
I love her free
Um,
skate.
Her free,
Mhm.
it's so it's like water flowing, like it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's powerful, it's
Mhm.
calming, it's all of that at the same
Mhm.
time. She doubled her sow, which I don't think
That
she
was, yeah,
liked that
uncharacteristic.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I do think comparing the three skaters, her
Mhm.
jumps are the ones who that are maybe the least amplitude.
Mhm.
And it's not like she doesn't jump well. It's that
Yeah.
she's up against two other skaters who jump like maniacs.
Yeah,
So,
textbook. Yeah.
yeah. So at 1, 2, 3 for Japan, and then fourth was Isabel Levito, who
Mhm.
also skated very well.
Mhm.
A really good short program with a triple flip, triple toe that was
Mhm.
fully rotated.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever seen her do a triple toe quite like that one. It was
Mhm.
it was big. It was fully rotated,
Mhm.
which is has been an issue for her over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, unfortunately was not fully rotated in the free skate, and
And that was the difference.
yeah, yeah. But like at Worlds last year, she rallied after that opening mistake and did a really solid program.
Yeah.
And I mean, 212 total is still a really impressive. Almost 213 is a really impressive score. It's great. It's just that in this field with this depth, it's yeah
I
wasn't.
mean, I was talking about this in the recap. The top four here
Mhm.
are now four of the top six season best scores of
That's
the season. I mean,
amazing. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, the only two who are not those four are Monet Chiba, who's between Kaori and Rion,
Mhm.
and Amber Glenn, who is between Rion and Isabeau. So
Mhm.
that is some lineup of skaters right
Mhm.
there.
This Japanese women's Olympic team selection is just a nightmare. I can't. This is just not right. Like I can't deal with it. How are they going to choose? I mean, we know how they're going to
We
choose,
know
but
how.
like, oh.
The thing is, because of the whole body of work thing, right?
Mhm.
Like we go into Japanese nationals likely knowing who has a high likelihood of going.
Mhm.
And the question is whether they can sustain it at nationals, and whether somebody who may have had not a spectacular Grand Prix series, but a good one
Mhm.
can do something good, right? Like
Mhm.
if you got two bronzes and you don't make it to the Grand Prix final, you still got two bronzes,
Mhm.
right? Like that's still big.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of
Mhm.
jockeying going on,
Yeah.
and there will continue to be.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about the Korean women.
Mhm. Yeah. I was excited to see all of them. I think they all struggled here. I was really annoyed that you were correct about Gia Shin not really having her jump technique figured out, especially on the edge jumps. I was just like, girl, she was those like two, like the loop and the sow at her free skate. It was like popcorn. She just sort of went up and it was like, whoa, and then
Yeah,
abort. Um, really nice skates, I think, for her overall. Just some jump errors, popping her Lutz in her short program that just took her out of
yeah.
contention here.
But also, come on, judges with those components.
Yeah, that was
Like
ridiculous.
for
Yeah.
for Jishin and for Young Yu, like those
Hmm.
components just didn't sit right with
Unacceptable.
me at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
There was a lot of component issues at this competition in
There
general.
was there, and we will continue to talk about it. Cheon Kim, good news to all the Cheon Kim fans out there. I mean, at least I was a tad bit worried
Oh
after
yeah.
her 140s skate, like a
Yeah.
140 total skate, right? Like I
Mhm.
think she got a 148 at Nepala. That was only 3 weeks ago, and it was like
143.
143. There you go.
Lower than her
Uh,
personal best free skate
yeah,
score.
I mean, crazy. Like under rotations, pops, falls everywhere, and we were just like, what is going to happen here?
Mhm.
She went back to an old free skate. She still made mistakes, but those
Mhm.
mistakes were not anywhere near as
Mhm.
crazy and egregious as the ones that she did at Nepala. And
Mhm.
being off the podium was probably not what she would have wanted. But also, given what she did 3 weeks ago, a sixth place and a 187, I think she'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also over the other two Korean women,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that
Mm-hmm.
that's important. The Korean Federation won't take this into account, right? They will only take certain competitions and add
Mm-hmm.
them up together, right? So this is not going to affect it, but it does. I'm sure it will affect everybody's sort of mental preparation into
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean the women's free skate. I came out of that with so much energy. I was just
Yeah.
like it was so fun to
And then
watch.
it
It
went
was
right
just
back down.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
continue to bury the lead. Let's talk about the pairs.
Okay.
Okay, pairs was a little weird,
In
maybe.
what way?
Well,
Oh, it was a great
the s-
event.
the single twist was a little
Oh,
weird.
that was yeah,
Yeah,
that was strange.
it was generally a very good event. Miura Kihara winning. I mean, just like
That free
demolishing the
skate is
field.
so good.
Yeah, it was good. The only mistake was on the side by side
Mm-hmm.
combos, and they did well. Ryuichi looked winded at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and I
I
hope,
mean, I'd be winded too if I skated like that. That was full out. That was such a good program.
yeah,
Yeah, he'll get there.
it felt like they were more into the music this time around.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this in their first competition. What was it? No, second competition, the Lombardia, one of
Mm-hmm.
those, where I was saying it it felt like the short program they were in it musically. The free skate was more like
Yeah.
they were sort of just they did their thing, right? Like did their
Mm-hmm.
great skating skills thing, but they weren't quite into the program. I felt like they were more into it this time
Mm-hmm.
around, and the music carries them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as the season goes on, you want them to start carrying the music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think they have the capacity to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just a matter of comfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say watching this entire free skate event beginning to end, I was able to watch this one live. I don't ever, for the rest of my life, I'm good, ever need to see a triple toe, double axle combination again in pairs. I think that after the season, the ISU can just like please do something about this
I
because
agree.
this
Well,
is like
they were
enough.
gonna take it out
Mhm.
altogether. I think last season, and then they decided not to.
That was
But
the
I,
wrong
I
decision.
I think they will. Like I think that is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the thing that's sad about it is that it became a like an arithmetic game for
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
versus like when a triple toe double axle or any kind of thing with a double axle on the end, when it's done well, it's actually really cool.
Mhm.
But because it's worth so many points and it's
Mhm.
safer to do than a triple toe, people just kind of sort of take advantage of it, and
Yeah.
it gets so messy.
Yeah.
A lot of these are so
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like it's like Hasse Volodin are the only ones who like
Mhm.
do a really good job of it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
One of the highlights for me is Stellato and Deschamps' short program. I
Yes, it was so
love that
good.
short program.
It was giving their short program from 2 years ago,
Yeah,
the French Canadian one, Donnez-moi,
yeah, yeah.
that intensity. And it really shows, I think, how much of a mistake their Beyonce Dirge was last year that I think slowed their momentum. This, like, I just was looking at them differently. It was so good.
I mean,
Um,
look, I'd rather have Carmina Burana this year
oh,
than
yeah.
if
Yes, please. Amen. Yeah. So
the
good. Yeah. I
the
free skate.
backflip got
Oh, yeah.
better. Like the
Mm-hmm.
backflip was,
It
I
works.
really like it. I
Uh-huh.
really like it.
Yeah.
And it's improved. Like the way that it works with the music has improved. Like everything about that program,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Free skate.
Free skate is Poeta. I feel like this music kind of becomes a little repetitive in this program. It doesn't build the way you want it
Yeah.
to. And I don't know if it's the cut or their choreography. Um, yeah. I wouldn't mind if they went back to their interview with the vampire free skate.
For me, it's the cut.
Mm,
It takes them 2 minutes to get
mm,
to something more dramatic and
mm.
intense, and that's when they're at their best. They're at their best when it's like big, bold music
Yes. Yeah.
Deanna can open her
Yeah.
mouth and emote, you know, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, like that's the thing that we're always looking for from them. And the first, like you said, it's repetitive, right? The first 2 minutes is just
Mm-hmm.
the sort of the same thing,
A
and
lot of build up.
like tonally
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't build. It's very flat in terms of the mood. I mean, partly because they're trying to like get the stuff done,
Mm-hmm.
but still, like, if they can limit that first part to like a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get their twists done, get their two side by sides done, and then like let's start ramping it up
Mm-hmm.
earlier. I think that program does have legs.
Mm-hmm.
It just the legs grow a little bit too late.
Yeah. I made a note to go back and watch Stefan Lambiel's Poeta, which I haven't seen in many years,
Mm-hmm.
and compare it to the way the music is edited in this. I had way too much skating this weekend to do to watch to get to that, but at some
Yeah,
point in the next like 3 days before we have more skating, I'll get
because
to it.
Poeta's been done very well,
Yeah.
right? And so it's not as if it's not a bolero where
Mhm.
if you pick bolero, you know what's gonna happen
Mhm.
mostly.
Mhm.
Um, like this, there is a lot more ups and downs
Mhm.
and build up to it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the twist because that set the tone for that program and for their
Yeah.
mood.
It surprised me. They came out and did a single twist, and I don't. I've never done pairs. I was an ice dance girly, as you can imagine that. I couldn't tell right away like what had happened. I thought that it may have been intentional, that they planned that, maybe that something happened. But then Deanna clarified later it was her. She didn't twist because she hit her foot against his or something,
Hmm.
and she just
Hmm.
didn't have the space to do it. Thanks to them for explaining it very clearly in the kiss and cry immediately after, so that we got it right away.
If
But
there's anything Deanna Stillato's going to do, she's
mm-hmm.
going to do play by play of her own programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but that not only sort of ruined the mood for the audience, but it
Hmm.
also ruined the mood for them. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they
Thinking
were
about those
playing
points.
exactly, they were
Hmm.
playing catch up the entire time,
Hmm.
and you can kind of tell. And
Hmm.
your point about the poetic cut being
Hmm.
repetitive doesn't help because
Yeah.
we were just waiting, like we were
Yeah.
just like, okay, well,
Yeah.
what, like, are they gonna pop something else now? Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Um,
Max was like determined to do those double axles. No matter how it looked, no matter how far it took, he was doing them. And I was just like,
and
we
he
need to
did
get
them.
rid of this element.
I know.
Yeah. So they got a 7.8 in the short program for their level 4 twist. And so I think it's with Joey. So I think their whole free skate, they're thinking we've lost almost 8 points. Eight
Exactly.
points. Oh my
Yep.
God. And
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That would have been 206, 207, right?
Mhm.
That makes a big difference.
Mhm.
Still, second
Mhm.
place with the silver. That's
Mhm.
that'll be plenty for them to
Mhm.
be in contention for the Grand Prix final.
Mhm.
Pavlova Sviatchenko. You and I were texting over the weekend
Yeah.
about them.
They have a new look, and
I
it's a good one.
It's so good.
Uh-huh.
I've been so sort of poo-poo about this
Mhm.
pair because like yes, they're consistent. Yeah, they can do the stuff, but like every single season I feel like they're just like skating through their music and they're not
Plotting. Yeah.
yeah, and it's so different this season
It's
that
like
they've really worked.
music, choreography,
The
packaging,
look.
costuming, the
Yep.
look, the
Yep.
interactions between them. They just got a
Yep.
complete like refresh,
Yeah.
and it took them to another echelon of components.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
which were deserved. They were very
Agreed.
engaging and nice to watch. Yeah, I've heard enough Michael Jackson and skating to last me a long time, but I thought their short program was great. Yeah, it's watching someone do crossovers too. What about Killing Fields? It's like, okay,
I just don't know what it is about Earth Song and
yeah,
its hold on figure skating.
yeah,
I mean, somebody do like Remember the Time or something. I
yeah.
don't
Oh, that
know.
would be great. Yeah,
Yeah, like I feel like
with a little Egyptian theme, like the music
w-
video.
why has nobody done Remember the Time for Ice Dance
Oh,
for
hey,
the 90s theme? I
it's a
mean,
free
oof.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
free idea.
it probably
Somebody
doesn't meet the beats per minute requirement.
I know, somebody with the Backstreet Boys program, please switch.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's a
so
good
that's
call,
it.
actually.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Mhm.
Um, and then fourth and fifth was the battle
Mhm.
of the American team,
Mhm.
which was, I think, closer than most of us thought it was going to be,
Mhm.
given the seasons that they've had. McBeath and Parkman with a 178 over Shin and Naj with a 173. And let's just say it. Shin and Naj with that 173 would have been the first alternate spot
Mhm.
at the Olympic qualifying event. And
Mhm.
I mean, this was much closer than to what they were expecting to be
Mhm.
skating. And I think there was something about the pressure probably that
Mhm.
kind of took them out of it. So
Mhm.
it's sad because we know they can do it.
Mhm. Yeah. I was impressed with McBeath and Parkman here. I thought that their pair elements looked great. Their throws looked. I mean, Katie was really fighting for the landings. They were not in a
Hmm.
bad way, but like they were secure. Like she was like, "I'm landing this,"
Yep.
and yeah, I liked their programs. I want to mention Katie's costuming in the free skate. I think for a long time, Katie McBeath has, looked like Sasha Cohen a little bit. And she really leaned into that look in
It
the free
she
skate
did. I
with
didn't
the long
realize that.
sleeves
Yes.
and the
And the
illusion fabric on the
ombre.
back and the low bun. And I was like, "Oh, wow, I feel like it was really working. I really liked it. It's like, Sasha Cohen's one of those skaters that is just timeless. And, we never got to see her do pairs. So it's just, yeah, I liked it. I felt like it added to their aura.
Katie McCohen.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
Love it.
Mm hmm.
So yeah, so that was the pairs, and then the sixth, seventh, and eighth was the battle of the French teams.
Mm
Not surprisingly, Kovalev winning that battle, and
hmm.
they, of course, are the first alternates, and France is the first alternate for the pair spot
Mm
for Beijing. So
hmm.
the all of these interactions will have ramifications for those Olympic qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's pairs.
Men?
All right, we're gonna
Dance.
save dance for last.
Oh,
Let's
I don't
save
know.
to. Okay,
Let's do
let's go to
dance.
let's go to dance. Let's go to dance.
Okay. On the
Let's.
positive side,
Yes.
I think that we saw the international debut of Laurence Fournier Boudry and Guillaume Cizeron. And for the most part, they skated very well. Their new rhythm dance is a great vehicle for them. It's to a couple different Madonna songs. They had a little issue in the choreographic rhythm sequence when Guillaume put his knee down, and that counted as a fall. Their free dance was delivered beautifully. And honestly, like just watching them in this field, in this lineup, they are head and shoulders above the other teams competing. I think that their 133 in the free dance was totally warranted. Hate to say it, but they deserved it. I mean, it was awesome. Um, and I called it. So it was
You
just
did
what I
call it.
expected. So, yeah, that said, what did you think of their skating?
The couple quibbles that I had with
Mm-hmm.
them, right? Whenever somebody, doesn't matter if it's them or if it's other disciplines, like we talk about this all the time. Whenever somebody gets huge GOEs across the board,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you got to look at the individual elements and be
Mm-hmm.
like, did they do they does that actually warrant these
Mm-hmm.
huge GOEs,
Mm-hmm.
or did they just do it across the board, right?
Yeah.
And like I saw this, for example, right? Ilya Malinin
Mm-hmm.
put his foot down on the quadless half loop triple flip,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a very like disguised foot down, but like anybody else that would have been like a -1,
Mm-hmm.
and he was getting positives up until they
Mm-hmm.
call it the Let's a Q. Like
Cute. Yeah.
it's that kind of thing where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
just be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
judges. It is not gonna change like what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like it's but the thing that I had with it happened with Fournier, Baudry, and Cicerone. It also happened with Fear and Gibson. Was the twizzles at the beginning for Fournier,
Mm-hmm.
Baudry, Cicerone. They got huge GOEs for it.
Yeah, that was a little. It was a little fun.
But yeah, but they like one of the hallmarks of like impeccable twizzles, which is what they were
Mm-hmm.
being called,
Mm-hmm.
is that the spacing between them stay even
Mm-hmm.
throughout the entire thing, and they were weaving in and out. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can see it on camera, and
Mm-hmm.
if you can see it on camera, it probably means
Mm-hmm.
um, it was even more noticeable in person. And the same thing happened with Fear and Gibson, and I think Lila Fear's I think second twizzle maybe was a little bit potentially off.
She had a bit of checking in those twizzles. I was ready to wonder if they were going to be
To
called
call it
as
a
check
three.
three turns, and
Yeah,
that they weren't.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
So it's stuff like that, right? Where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I get the exuberance because there was a lot of good stuff that was in those programs, but like, just like look at the elements and talk about the element itself, right? Like, don't call it a GOE based on
Yeah.
the entire program. The other one on Fournier, Beaudry, and Cicerone was their combo lift, which I remember looking at it when and for once the camera
Mm-hmm.
operators were giving us like
They
a
were
good
so bad this
there
event.
was
Oh my
they
God. Yeah.
they
Anyway,
loved just like doing
changing
the
shots
zoom
mid
in,
jump.
change it, yeah, mid jump, mid twizzle, mid
Yeah.
everything. But if you looked at the curve to curve
Mm-hmm.
combo lift, Guillaume takes a different curve on the second lift, and you can actually see him really kind of digging his
Mm-hmm.
edge in to get into that second
Yeah, to get
curve,
around.
and it actually slowed down the lift, and you can see ice kind of fly up while
Mm-hmm.
he made that switch, and that lift can be done a lot better than that. It's
Yeah.
still a very hard lift. Like I am not discounting the difficulty of the lift, but to call it a lift that was done impeccably well, probably not. Like that's the kind of thing that I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
can we just be a little bit more real here?
Uh-huh.
And this we see this elsewhere as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that often happens with the top scoring skaters in the world, where they get a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt in some of these things than if a second tier kind of team or skater did the same thing, they would not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my rant. Um, I did think Fury Gibson skated their free dance, um, actually both their rhythm and their free
Mm-hmm.
dance better than they've skated it all season.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't necessarily think that the scores they got were realistic. They were quite high. I think for what they did, but they did skate. They did skate really well. And honestly, I didn't have a big problem with them running the rhythm dance. Um, based on their delivery and their performance of it, I do think that the spread they got like an 84 over the Lithuanians 80 was hard to explain or understand.
but can we say that I'm Too Sexy for Reed and Amberlith Sears is one of my favorite
Yeah, it's
rhythm
great. It's
dances of the
really good.
season? It's so they do
Yeah.
it so well.
Yeah. Yeah. They have that good little energy. Their like attitude they put into it is fun.
And it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like they're doing 90s for 90s sake. Like I feel
Mhm.
like if they didn't have a rhythm, or like if they didn't have a theme, like that could
Mhm.
have been something that they would just do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and they pull it off really well.
Mhm. So, I think the
Oh
biggest story
gosh,
out of the dance event was the
burying the
absolute and
lead.
complete dumpage of the Italian team, Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, who made their season debut at this event. They did an interview at the event right before the competition started where they talked about how they had a lot of issues in their personal life after last season. They took a long time to get things together for the season. They got a bit of a later start, and they didn't go to Lombardia for that reason. Um, they needed that time for themselves, just for their life and their relationship, etc., life off the ice. Um, that's it. I think they had a pretty solid debut of their programs. They
Yep.
skated very well in both programs. They did their Diamanti free dance, which I thought was a really nice fit on them. It was packaged beautifully. They had really nice costumes. I thought they skated very cleanly, especially for their first appearance of the season. Very, very clean. The rhythm dance, I was so on. I think they skated it well. It was Backstreet Boys. It felt a little young, I think, for them. And also, the middle section was really, I didn't like they used Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely sped up to the pace of like a fast Backstreet Boys
Yeah,
song, which
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
immediately like jarring. And then I felt like they were skating a bit slow, especially in like the pattern dance step. And so, but then they got a 1 on that, and their components were bananas because this is a team that usually gets high 8s to low 9s in their components. And there were 2 judges on the panel that gave them the components they normally get. And they were Italy and Canada, gave them low 9s. And every other judge was giving them mid to low 8s. And it was just kind of like, what is going on? And their GOEs were also quite low from those judges. And they got 2 of the lowest scores of their career here since like 2018, I think I saw was the last time they scored this low. So like 2.5 Olympic cycles ago. And it wasn't explainable. And the team was just distraught. And they went on Instagram. They were posting all kinds of stuff. Marco posted something about, he shared like a post about it and said, this is all I can say about my utter humiliation and embarrassment. Charlene was resharing all these stories people were posting about like skating scores analysis of like, the spread and how strange it was. And it is true. A lot of people were pointing to the composition of the panel, that all of the judges that were putting them and giving them these scores are, thought to be like Montreal aligned because they have students that are skaters from the federation that train there. And this, not to get too speculative, but this is the second very high profile competition where we've seen a team from a smaller federation with less politic being just completely and unexplainably dumped behind a team from Montreal. We saw this at the Olympic qualifier with the Swedish team, who we agreed probably should have been on the podium, getting just hosed and put like behind the Chinese team. We couldn't understand it. And it's upsetting. People are just kind of like, what is going on? It's just this strange set of circumstances. And I'm not saying I think Charlene and Marco should have won. I think I agree with them not winning the rhythm dance. I probably would have had them in second place. The free dance, though, I thought their free dance was great. I would have probably had them very close to the Brits, if not maybe slightly ahead of them. And they were just hosed. And they were behind the Georgians in the rhythm dance. It just was such a stark, intense thing and so demoralizing for the team and like can't be explained. I know, Jackie, you posted the head exploding emoji on Twitter, and I feel like that's my
Yeah.
take as well.
I mean, it's still exploding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact of the matter is their basics are incredibly strong.
Yes.
Like you can talk about their composition
Mm-hmm.
and their performance all you want, but their basics have not changed.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they've slowed down. It's not like they've all of a sudden stopped understanding where their edges are and how to do turns and all that sort of stuff. It just felt, you were talking about how they were clean in the free dance. Like you look
So
at
clean.
you look at the elements that were called, right? Like they were getting
Mm-hmm.
level 3s. They were getting the calls,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the grace of execution and the components that brought them down in both programs, and that was the thing that kept them from being on the podium and frankly being closer to the top 2. And yeah, I am not sure, and you wonder if this is an anomaly, right? You wonder if the second Grand Prix will be a complete switcheroo and they'll be back in the 205, 210 range. Time will tell, but like you said, it's demoralizing. And they've got to be going back and just being like throwing their hands up and being like, what do we do?
Mm-hmm. I think last season we saw their scores drop in the free dance because they had some unusual material that was different for them. Took them a long time to really figure it out. I don't know if they ever really fully figured it out, but we understood it because nobody really liked that program. It was,
The robots.
the robot program. It just was an odd fit on them. This free dance, this Diamante program, I feel like is so in their wheelhouse. And it also, something I haven't said about their programs in a while, it's very mature. I mean, I feel like you see them as like adults in command of their skating, delivering this material. It works nicely for them. It's a nice choice. And Yeah, and the skating skills thing I think was killing me. Like they got a full half a point less than Fear Gibson on skating skills in the free dance. What are skating skills? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I thought that was supposed to be what your blades do on the ice, and I don't how like I don't see it. I can't understand, and I can't
Yeah.
understand how any judge can score that way and it just be okay. And it's such a block. There's such a large block on this panel judging in that same way that it's just kind of like you can't even point to one or two people that are doing it. It's just, yeah, it feels like Nagano, but worse. There's more of them.
It's very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anyway.
we will see how the rest of the season goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this could be an anomaly.
It's a big one.
Here's to me hoping. Uh, Davis is smoking. We were talking about this earlier in the season, and Nisha and I were talking about this before we started the show.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to really like their skating and
Mm-hmm.
the way that they've improved over the past two
Mm-hmm.
seasons in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot at the very beginning when they were representing Russia
Mm-hmm.
where people were just saying like Diana Davis is on flats all the time. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know how to get into her knees, all that kind of stuff. Uh, she has really visibly improved, and
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at some of those things, right? Like, sure, some of the stuff is still a little bit shallow in the edges, but like her her understanding of her center of mass when she's leaning into edges is so different now
Mm-hmm.
than it was a couple years ago, and she matches him a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And the material's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially that free dance.
the free
Yeah.
dance is great. I mean, we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
Offspring and
Mm-hmm.
Destiny's Child being like a weird combination. They
And
took
they
out
hurt
Destiny's
us.
Child. I know. Diana Davis, if you're listening to this podcast, thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. The Offspring program
It's all Offspring.
is all Offspring. It's different, right? It
Mm-hmm.
is not anything else that you're seeing out there. It
Mm-hmm.
might not be everybody's cup of tea because the
Mm-hmm.
Offspring does not sing very well. Um, it's just a white boy yelling
Yeah.
lyrics into the microphone. But you know, like
Mm-hmm.
they're making it work for them, and I like the improvements on this team a lot.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, especially the free dance. I think. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it.
All right. So that was top five. So much to talk about with the top five. Six was L'Oreal Legac, who we talked about earlier this season with like the like crazy swing and scores that they've had. This is probably, I'm guessing, where their medium is, right?
Yeah.
Like 180, like mid 180s, maybe upper
Mhm.
180s. They did skate very well here. And then beating Peyton Bai and Bratty Somerville, who had a bit of like a American head-to-head. Bratty Somerville just a couple seasons ago were at Worlds and having won bronze at Nationals, and it's been tough for them to get back to that level. And we saw that here. Mistake in the rhythm dance, and then the free dance was not quite where they thought they would be. You know, I think both of these teams didn't skate to their potential here, and you know, it's a little bit of a shame.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the French team, Natasha Lagouge and Arnaud Kaffa. I don't know if I'm saying their names correctly, but especially their rhythm dance, the Crystal Waters, I thought was really watchable and well choreographed and fun.
You love your
And
Crystal Waters.
I do love Crystal Waters, so that was an advantage already. But I was really enjoying their skating. I felt like they maybe deserved a little bit more of a score than they got. I liked them.
That was dance. That's a lot of dance.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Okay, we're gonna end with the men. True to form, lots of menning happening, with the exception of Ilya Malinin, who did his usual thing and won both segments.
Mhm.
Um, and then of course Adam Fa did his
Mhm.
usual thing and dug
Mhm.
himself into a hole and then came back in the free skate.
Mhm.
Nika Igatze saying that it was the worst decision of his life to to do three competitions in
Yeah.
a row. We'll talk about that. But I mean, there was so much movement.
Mhm.
Andrew Torgashev getting dead last in the short program and finishing sixth. I
Mhm.
mean, Kalmura, oh, heartbreaking to watch.
Mhm.
Third to 10th with a just like a completely out of sorts free skate where he just didn't it's like he didn't know what he was like what his legs were doing basically.
Yeah.
Um there was a lot of movement. There was also a lot of great skating.
Mhm.
Uh Besides the fact that you see all of this movement. I will say Francois Pitot, another one. If we talked about
Redemption.
Shinanage, yeah, we
Okay,
talked
this
about
is like, what kind of crazy sport is this with the menning? Francois Pitot is eighth in the short, sixth in the free. Where does he finish? Fifth overall. This is the kind of thing that needs to go into the menning ratio when you figure
yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna figure out this betting ratio. But Francois Pitot with the
Mhm.
233 would have qualified himself or would qualified France at third spot.
Mhm.
Hi,
Mhm.
it's one of those things like they all had the potential. It really like it's tough to watch when you just see them like maybe want it too much or just
Yeah.
had it the pressure was too much. Um,
I want to talk
where
about
where do we
Danny
start?
Zuko.
Yeah, where do we want to start?
Danny Zuko.
Okay, go.
Ilya Malinin was in his aura at this event. And he
Mm-hmm.
had his agent there, Ari Zakarian, filming his arrivals and his departures. And he was dressed head to toe in black. He had a perm, he had curly bangs, he had a black leather jacket on, he had black pointy shoes. And he was just feeling himself, some big necklaces, walking in the venue for the practice, walking in for the competition, showing up to the press conference. We even got some pictures of him letting Nika Igadze wear the jacket and them posing together, all in black. But it's so interesting. This whole thing as a performance to me, it's kind of reminding me of Plushenko. It's just like every moment that he is at this building, he is working it, and it's a lot of confidence cloud, like it's a big confidence thing, but it's like helping him. It's like the aura like helps him on the ice. And we've seen Ilya kind of fall apart at competitions when he doesn't have much competition. He didn't have a ton of competition here. Adam Fa, notwithstanding, was not skating his best. And he still was able to go out, do his job, do his programs, and put that jacket back on and go to the press conference and get his gold medal. I mean, he was just, yeah.
It's interesting, right? There is something to be said about that this sort of alter ego-ness,
Mm-hmm.
right? To
Mm-hmm.
your point, outside of the bravado, you and I have seen
Mm-hmm.
Ilya kind of in his Ilya zone
Mm-hmm.
where he does get nervous. He does
Mm-hmm.
get nervous before he skates. Like you would think after
Mm-hmm.
all of this, all of the success and all of the history making and all that stuff that he goes out there and he's like, I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's more complicated than that. And
Mm-hmm.
there's something about, kind of putting yourself in a different persona
Mm-hmm.
that maybe that's the thing that's helped him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think it has. And I don't think it's something that would work for a lot of people, but it really works for
Yeah.
him. His like Sasha Fierce character
I know.
is Danny Zuko.
Very Sasha Fierce. Um,
Yeah,
okay, I said something on Twitter that I think to a lot of people was a little
I heard
controversial,
about this.
which is I think this free skate is actually one of the best free skates that he's had, and I don't I don't know what it is. The first time I watched it in what was it, Lombardia,
Mm-hmm.
I remember being very distracted by the voiceover, and this time around I kind of zoned out the voiceover because
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and the program felt a lot more coherent to me
Mm-hmm.
because of that. I also love the costume. Like the packaging is really
Yes,
good.
his costumes were
Um,
good.
and it felt like a an entirety of a program, whereas I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Vampire and Succession were Ilya doing big jumps, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's about 45 seconds where he does a somewhat slow and a little bit angsty step sequence,
Yeah.
and then he does a couple more jumps, and then it's like the music changes and he becomes, big choreographic step
Yeah.
sequence Ilya, and then backflip, and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
That felt like last season to me. And maybe I'll have a different opinion when I watch this again. But for me, when I watched this one, the program felt more a one program rather than like a couple of different things stitched together. Um, and it also, I think, help helps Hurts that I loved his short programs the last two seasons
Mm-hmm.
more, and this season I like his free skate more, and I felt like his free skate is very personal to him, and it works very well. Anyway, that was my that was my controversial take of the day.
I mean, my controversial take is that I agree with you. I think it's a great free skate. I feel like it's less of an extreme sport program, which is what his last couple free skates were. I think that if he took out the little vocal pieces, I think it would be like a perfect vehicle for him. That I can't with the spoken word. It's like, I don't, it's a lot.
If he even stopped after the first set of spoken
Yeah.
word and then just let it go,
I just, they're too literal. I would like to hear them spoken in another language or something. I need there to be a layer between myself and the words. It's too much. It's like
Michelle,
almost secondhand embarrassment.
Michelle, you are something, but not nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Say it.
true. You are something, but not
Oh
nothing.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Adam. Let's put Adam Sao in the "We Are So Back" category
mhm.
because we are so back.
Mhm.
That free skate, I now really like.
Mhm. He's growing on me. Mhm.
I think when he's not frazzled and his jumps are on axis,
Mhm.
it just comes together so much more. And what I realized when I've watched the first couple of times this free skate went out was that because the jumps were off, he was also
Mhm.
just scrambling half the time to just like
Mhm.
get back on time, and it ruined the like totality of the program.
Mhm.
And this time around, it was like, oh yeah.
Mhm.
And nobody, even Kaori Sakamoto, nobody does that slide the way that he
Oh.
does.
Oh yeah. No. It's incredible. It looks like it feels so good too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's wasn't that the slide that like Lucas Brisky
Yes.
tried
Impaled himself on.
yeah, oh God, please kids, don't try this at home.
No.
It was a little bit simpler, quote unquote, simpler, less
Mhm.
difficult of a program than he was trying earlier. No
Mhm.
quad flip in this one.
Mhm.
Um, but still one, two, three, four quads, two
Mhm.
toes, a Lutz and a Sal, and then two triple axles. So, you know, it was
Mhm.
good. It was very good. But there was something interesting in there. The triple axle, double axle was not done at the right time to get the
Mhm.
bonus.
Mhm.
So he probably missed it by like a second.
Yeah.
So he needs to be
Watch
aware
the
of that.
clock. Yeah.
But also, like, why do people choreograph it so close
I
to the
know.
middle?
I know.
Happens all the time, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, great to see him like get his mojo back, and I hope it stays.
Mhm. I agree. I think the short program's still growing me on me a bit. I feel like there's some movements in there that just don't showcase his capacity, you know. But yeah, the free skate was really good,
Yeah,
and I'm happy for him to be
yeah.
back.
There were a couple of things this week that confounded me.
Mm.
One was the strictness of the fall calls.
Mm.
Um, Adam in the short program got a -1 deduction for his quad Lutz, which they deemed to be a fall, and he literally did not do anything but put his hand down, and it was
Yeah.
not a weight-bearing hand. I was very surprised. Like, and then there was another one in the free skate that was the same thing, and I forgot
Mhm.
who it was, but somebody else got a fall called when it really should not have been one.
Yeah. No weight transfer.
Yeah, no weight transfer, right? Like the whole point of the strictness of the fall is that it has to be
Mhm.
enough of like the weight in on your hands, right?
Mhm.
Such that you can't get up from it.
Mhm.
And that was certainly not the case
Mhm.
for that quad butts in the short. So one of many things that confounded my brain was that.
I think he
Yeah. Yes. What
I was
else?
gonna
What else
say
you gonna
one
say?
other thing that confounded you was Luke Economides short program music. Hallelujah,
Oh,
hallelujah,
oh my
hallelujah,
God, yes.
hallelujah, hallelujah.
It wasn't that it confounded me. It was more that I'm like, I don't know how I can, if I had
Mhm.
that program, I don't know how I could run through that every single day and listen to the, the just like constant screaming of hallelujah
Yeah,
and then more screaming at the end. It was a lot of
yeah.
screaming,
I
choir
was
screaming. At least
I
it's
was
musical
relieved
screaming.
just not to see him not skating to Charlie Chaplin. I feel like every time I've seen him skate, he's been doing Charlie Chaplin, and this is a reprieve from that.
Yes. All right. Nikkei Gatse,
Mhm.
another one who very much worked on his skating and his
Mhm.
musicality and his interpretation. And he went to Benoit Richaud for his programs this season, and it has made such a difference
Mhm.
in his skating. Like he's still there's still a lot about him. Like he's not a naturally kind of balletic skater.
Mhm.
Um, and some of the shapes that he makes are kind of like, they're
Mhm.
a little stiff, but like
Mhm.
he, the way that he has transformed this season and the way that he is interpreting the music and skating to the music, like you saw some of that over the past few seasons where you're like, there's something there. Like he wants to do it, but he doesn't know how to.
Mhm.
And Benoit's choreography has, I think, resonated with him quite a bit, and
Mhm.
I really like where he is now versus where he was the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and I hope he has a chance to get a massage and to have some time off and maybe
Go to
just a
sleep.
day. Yeah, before he goes to Canada. I'm tired from watching 3 competitions in a row. I can't
Yeah.
imagine skating in them.
Uh,
So,
okay, Lucas Britschke,
mhm,
really strong free skate,
mhm,
and I want to get your opinion on this one because there have been a
mm,
lot of Middle Eastern inspired music choices and choreography choices.
mhm.
Um, This one, I think this one was like African Middle Eastern
I think
inspired.
it's Middle Eastern, like Levant, I think. Like that area. Maybe a little bit into, yeah, I don't know.
I remember him saying something about like the one of the reasons that
Going to
Lucas
Google Maps.
decided to do, okay, it's called Journey Through the Orient.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Um,
confusing because that usually means Far East, but I think this is Middle East. Uh,
well, to be fair, the Orient is supposed to be the Middle East, but they
oh,
have but the reason why we're gonna go into a little
we're
bit
talking
of
about the Silk Road,
we're gonna talk we're gonna go into a
the
little bit
steppes of Asia, Central Asia.
of things that I have dealt with as
Uh-huh.
an East Asian person. The reason why people, especially in East, Southeast, South
Mhm.
Asia, are get offended when you say Oriental
Mhm.
and call people from East Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asian Oriental
Mhm.
is because the Orient is supposed to be for the like Middle East area.
Oh, east of Europe.
And
Mhm.
so like everybody's always like, no, Orientals are about rugs, right? Like Oriental rugs
Yeah.
are from the Middle East. Um,
Um,
Either way, that word to be used for people has become problematic, and let's not use it. I'm sure at some point language
Mm-hmm.
changes all the time. That's how it goes. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
step away from that one a little bit. But yeah, so he was saying at some point when he was talking about his programs that this this program was inspired by his travels, and that he
Mm-hmm.
was, like he really wanted to pay homage to his travels. And the reason I bring that up is there has been a deluge of
Mm-hmm.
like Middle Eastern inspired,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, Egyptian, or
Mm-hmm.
like whatever it is that people
Southeast Asian too.
like
Yeah.
whatever people like sort of
Mm-hmm.
try to cobble together and call it
Mm-hmm.
that. And I think there's a difference between an educated homage
Mm-hmm.
to a culture and or music that is not only inspired but also with influences of actual choreographers
Mm-hmm.
from those um, uh, from those cultures or regions, versus, oh, I think these arms are Middle Eastern and I'm going to do
Yeah.
them. Like I think about, as much as I love Tatiana Malinina's
Mm-hmm.
Aladdin program, that was very much I'm going to put some Middle Eastern arms in
Yeah.
there and call it that. You think of things like uh, Volozosar and Trenkov's
Mm-hmm.
Bollywood piece, which was very much done in the vein of Bollywood dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and people who do Bollywood dancing look at that program and it's like, yes, this was choreographed like intentionally to be so.
I thought you were going to
Uh,
say Davis and White.
well, I was going to say Davis and White as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like both of those, right, were done in a way um, that was respectful to the culture and was
Mm-hmm.
an obvious, like, we're going to learn about it and do it. And I think that's a long-winded way of saying I feel the same way about Lucas Richke's program. And wasn't it wasn't full of like Middle Eastern
Mm-hmm.
gestures, right? He was skating through a lot of that program
Mm-hmm.
with good choreography. I think about the same thing with like Wakaba's Lion King program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that sort of, you're not skating to it as a novelty. You're not
Mm-hmm.
skating to it, as a way of like tokenizing some kind of culture or
Mm-hmm.
or dance thing. Anyway, point is, I think there's a good way to do it, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
not so good way of doing it.
I agree about that. I don't know if I would go as far with Lucas's program and say that he's really doing it respectfully, but I don't think he's doing it disrespectfully.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucas walks a fine line with his, bringing his travels to his skating, because he had that African themed program a couple of years ago that it makes you a little uncomfortable, but I think he does it in a way that you're not going to. It's not as offensive, even though it's a little bit offensive. It's a little bit appropriation. It's just, I don't know. I think with
Yeah.
his personality and his approach and his kind of open desire to respect and embrace these cultures, he handles it well. I mean, his choreography for this free skate, I believe, is Adam Solya, who I is not a Middle Eastern dancer, but that's it.
I do think that there was choreographers that were consulted for the
Okay.
choreography.
Well, that's a good thing to do.
I believe
Mm-hmm.
that's what I remember reading. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
we will continue to have these kinds of discussions because it is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just do a flamenco program by making flamenco arms either, right? Like
No,
it's kind
you
of the same thing.
call Antonio Naharo and you get a
Always
lesson.
always call Antonio Naharo.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he worked on with Chalk and Bates. It's gonna be great.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's that. Lucas, he Middle Eastern program aside, skated incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit more back to a couple of seasons ago where he had that breakthrough,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a little bit nervous after that short program where he was like, "Okay, are you last season Lucas or two seasons
Mm-hmm.
ago Lucas?" Um, And then Francois Pitot fifth, and Andrew Torgev sixth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the two Japanese men before we close because the two of them were third and fourth after the short, skated
Yeah.
generally very well. Kamiura was not perfect, but pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Tatsuya Tsuboi was basically as good as he could be,
Mm-hmm.
and then both of them fell apart in the free skate.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
I I'm worried about Calmura. He's been competing a lot, and every time I see him compete, I'm like, oh, are you okay? I hope he's healthy. I hope he's, you know, being safe. And, I know that Japan has really strict criteria for the Olympic team, and these placements are important, but I think his health is really important too. And I'm just speculating wildly here. I don't know if he's still currently injured, if his recovery is where it says he is, but these are that was some wild mess in that free skate. That was like,
it,
dude, I
it
was
was
ready to
like
blow the whistle.
it was like he didn't know what his body was doing.
Yeah.
Um and it just kind of continued to spiral, right? I think that was a
Mm-hmm.
thing. There's some parts of that reminded me of when Amber Glenn kept messing up her like the second half of her
Mm-hmm.
programs,
Mm-hmm.
every single competition there was some
Mm-hmm.
sort of kind of like a mental block.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like she was trying to skate and her body was just telling her to
Yeah.
do something different. um
But
it
that's not
reminded me of that.
But that's not what we're used to seeing from Cal.
No, not
He
at
can
all.
attack. He can lay down a really strong program, and so I wonder what is going on.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I mean, for all the practice reports that I
Mm-hmm.
saw, he was having fine practices.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he was sort of all over the place there. So yeah, we'll see. I hope he can get some time to just take a little bit of a break.
Mm-hmm.
The constant competing doesn't allow
Mm-hmm.
you to reset, and
Mm-hmm.
for some people, it's a great thing to just continue doing it and not think about it. But I don't think that's the case. That's been the case for him. So
Mm-hmm.
Tatsuya Suboi had a different kind of thing. I mean, he had issues on the first three jumps and then came back and skated really well in the
Mm-hmm.
second half. It was just too many mistakes, too much at the
Yeah.
very beginning, and he ended up dropping to seventh. That was also in some ways not a surprise given his season so far, which has
Mm-hmm.
been pretty good short program and
Mm-hmm.
then not so great free skate.
Mm-hmm.
For him to get back on the team, he's going to have to be stronger than that. And frankly, right now, with the exception of Yuma, the second and third spot are fairly open for the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. I think Shun might be
Mm-hmm.
probably ahead in that range, but like you know between Kao and Tatsuya and
Sota Yamamoto and
Sota,
Michael
yeah,
Bolton.
yeah. I mean, there's a and Kazuki. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of skaters who could be there, and we have now seen Tatsuya and Kao here at the Grand Prix. We will see Sota. We will see
Mm-hmm.
Kazuki. We'll see how that all goes. But it will be interesting to see where it all lands because there's no clear favorite right now besides Yuma.
Yeah. I've had Calmira penciled in for a couple of years. I just thought he's going to be on that team.
Right.
And he keeps skating like I'm wrong. So um, we'll see. When he's healthy, he's such a dynamic performer. I really want to see him in shape at the Olympics. I want to
Yeah.
see that. But
Cal, if you're listening to this podcast, please take care of yourself.
yeah.
All right. What are you obsessed about? And don't tell me it's ice dance scores.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm gonna put that dance aside. Ami Nakai's smiling face and just glow and her joy, I think, was just so bright throughout this competition. Um, yeah, she was just the it carried through both of her programs, and it was really exciting and engaging. And yeah, I'm excited to see her like star shoot into the sky. It's really it's cool.
I love it. I'm obsessed with Michał Selevko's Dracula short program and the like crazy costume.
Spirit Halloween
I
Dracula.
just I just think it's such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Like it's a little weird. It's a
Mm-hmm.
little, it's quirky. It's not what you expect
Mm-hmm.
at all, and it makes me perk up and watch, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that's nice to see when
Mm-hmm.
there are so many programs that you're like, okay, well, it's this again,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
it's like I expected that. So Michał Selevko. I mean, he did himself some good this week too, with those two programs.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect, but certainly puts him into back into that conversation for the Olympic
Mm-hmm.
spot for Estonia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else before we wrap up this very long Grand Prix
Oh my God.
recap?
There's so much skating. Well, I can't wait to do our preview episode on Wednesday. We're going to do it on Wednesday
We're gonna do it on Wednesday.
and talk about a very certain pair team we're going to get to see at Cup of China. And that's where my mind is right now. I can't wait.
Who could that
I don't
be?
know.
Is
I don't
Shannon
know.
Zhao coming back?
It might be them. No, yeah, it might be them. It might be their daughter, and she's skating with Hao Zhang, and he's back.
Okay, that is figure skating
He's like,
nerdism
no,
at its
please.
best.
Yeah.
Hao
I mean, we've
Zhang
seen
never stopped
crazier things
skating.
happen.
I do remember we were at, I think, 2018 Worlds, and I
Mm-hmm.
asked Hao Zhang, I'm like, are you ever going to stop skating? And he was like, no. Literally in my
Yeah.
face, he was like, no.
No. No.
All right. Well, on that note,
Mm-hmm.
Hao Zhang says no, but we have to stop this podcast at some point. Cup of China coming up next,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what that means? It means overnight skating watching for all of us in North America.
For those of us on the West Coast, it means evening skating watching
I
for
know,
ice dance
very late.
events, usually. So that's like fun for me. Like, yes, Pacific
I,
time.
I mean, it was also kind of hilarious because I was literally in Spain during this
Uh-huh.
entire Grand Prix de France,
Mm-hmm.
except for today when I was on a
Mm-hmm.
plane tweeting the
Mm-hmm.
entire thing. Um, but I mean, I was in the right time zone, but I was
Yeah.
also still in Eastern Standard Time
Mm-hmm.
in my brain, and
Mm-hmm.
so it felt like I was tweeting overnight. But Cup of China, here we come. Um, get your ramen ready. Cup of
Yeah.
noodles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michelle, thank you for joining us as always and telling me all the things. Um, for Michelle Ellis, I'm Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of RockerSkating.com. As always, thank you to John Wilson Blades for your generous sponsor. And as always, thank you for Tara Nichols, who, if you didn't listen to our preview, did join us for our Grand Prix de France preview last week. So if you're interested in who Tara Nichols is, you will hear. All right, well, we're going to talk to you very soon because we're coming back Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the preview for Cup of China. And can't wait for it because I need to rest up for this next weekend. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.